hope anybody doesn't ask me about... never mind, right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first ever ACFC. There's a timer just gone off on my watch, as I've said that for 35 minutes, which I didn't set. What a weird start. You can tell we're live. Exactly. Hello. Welcome to the first ever ACFC live stream, which is, if you may recall, very recently, I was doing a column for The Independent, and I said to them, would it not make more sense if instead of this we did something fun for you, the members? So this is the thing we're doing that's fun for you, the members. We hope. So we put a thing out last week saying if you'd like a question you want answered, send it through and we will do that. I am here. Archie is here. Say hello, Archie.
Hello, Archie.
Don't know if you can hear that. He's over there. He's going to be acting as you. He will be monitoring all of the comments and running all of the chat, and then he'll be doing that, and then he will use him as a liaison. And then also, eventually someone will ask something that I simply have not got an answer for, and I'll just let him do it, because that's kind of the vibe at the minute. We were going to use the blue screen. We had a cool background we were going to use for this, but we just can't quite make it work on StreamYard. So instead, you're getting to see more like how the sausage is made, for lack of a better term. How is everyone? I guess that's the first question. From me, even though it's supposed to be you answering. So yes, let us know where you're watching from, how you are doing. Just speak up, do things, and then we'll get started with all the questions. I'm somehow going to make this last about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, until either we run out of questions, or I get hungry, or we all get bored. We'll see which one of those happens first. How are you, Archie?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, I'm doing all right.
Also a question that would be worth asking is, when Archie speaks, can you hear him? Say stuff?
Say stuff. Stuff, more stuff, loads of stuff, tons of stuff. Can you hear the stuff? The stuff's good.
Could you hear any of that? And if not, we'll have to mic him up. That'll just work, won't it?
Yeah, you can just mic me up permanently.
Is this connected to that?
It's connected to this.
Oh, wow. Well, we've got two mics.
Yeah, we do, don't we?
Do you want to put one on?
He said he can hear me. Sounds like Archie's in a cave. I am kind of in a cave.
Can't hear him, not really. Do you just want the other mic?
Yeah, mic.
Right, I'll let you do that.
That works.
Needs to be loud. I've been telling that for ages. Oh, also, Archie did a cool social thing last night.
Did you enjoy it?
It was good. It was really good. I have one really important piece of feedback for you that's going to change your life.
Did I not do 26 players?
Huh?
Did I do less than 26
No,
players?
no.
Oh, good.
When you're filming, right, you need to look at the camera and not at your own reflection.
Yeah.
You look slightly off centre the whole time. A lot of older journalists make that mistake. You ever see when like the newspapers forcing them? I don't know. I'll get to the questions in a second. Don't worry about it. But you know, like they're all getting forced to do like camera content because that's just the way everything goes, and they all look slightly off. They look slightly off the camera when they're talking the whole time because they're looking at their own face like a budgie would. So don't do that. Oh, that was really good.
I look like a budgie.
There you go. Some live feedback for you. Right? Can they hear you? Is that on?
Yes, it is working, I think. If you can hear me better, that's good.
Is this an Adam Clery DJ set? You wish, mate. You wish. Right. We're going to start with the questions that were supplied ahead of time because people actually put them in. Then we will go to all of you in the comments and we'll just keep it rolling. We'll try and keep it quick because we've got like 20 already.
Yeah, we've got loads.
We've got 20 already. We'll have loads more as it goes on. And yeah. So the first question, I haven't put it on the list because it's so obvious. The first question we're going to go to is who are Tottenham going to hire to be their new manager? Because they sacked Igor Tudor, right? Now, we're not going to do a video on them sacking Igor Tudor. Normally, why you had to have been a manager is like our stock and trade. It's our bread and butter, that video. We're not going to do that because we literally just did one about why it wasn't working. And as I said to Archie, nothing's actually changed between that happening and them sacking the manager. The only thing that has changed is the family bereavement issue, and I don't really want to get into that because that's literally nobody else's business, and if that's made life really hard for Igor Tudor, then we're just gonna, there's no point talking about that. So all the reasons they had to get rid of him absolutely stand. It was a bad fit tactically. He clearly wasn't getting on with the players. He was not maximising their strengths and marginalising their weaknesses, which is what you've got to do at the end of the season. So he had to go. Now, news reaches these fair ears today that it might well be Roberto De Zerbi. I think that's miles away from actually happening, but you, Archie, you seem to think that's a done deal.
Well, I'm not in the know. I'm just on Twitter and have been for the last hour, and everyone seems to think it's happening. Big boy Fabs is kind of kind of bigging it up. So,
right. But Romano's a whole other story, isn't he? Because as we discussed in a fantastic video last summer on the channel, transfer news is a market within itself, and it does not really pay those involved in it to be, what's the word I want? Having huge levels of journalistic standards. It may just well be that it's, well, we'll get to that anyway. Yeah. Anyway, De Zerbi. Do I think Roberto De Zerbi would be a good appointment for Tottenham? Yes, great appointment if they do it in the summer. I don't think Roberto De Zerbi is who he would want with seven games to go?
7 games to go.
7 games to go. Because the problem is, as you pointed out to me before, he didn't win his first 5 games at Brighton. He did not have a great start at Marseille either, I think I'm right in saying. And so De Zerbi falls out with people. He falls out with boards. He falls out with players. He doesn't really foster a great environment. It's a very sort of like, how can I put this? High energy environment. You know what I mean? It's a winner's environment. But at the minute, that's so far away from what Tottenham are. I don't think it would be conducive to actually like do that. Anyway, the other problem he's got is that Roberto De Zerbi is maybe probably I would say the most tactically important manager in the Premier League of the last 5 years. He basically came in, I can see you shaking your head at this, we'll get to that in a second. He basically came in and he was like, look, I haven't got any money. I haven't got a really good squad of players, but watch me effectively implement this really modern cutting-edge tactical system and watch what happens, right? And Brighton all of a sudden, right as the rest of the league were really getting a big lob on for pressing, right? They were so good at pressing traps, inviting you on, and basically artificially making what felt like counter-attacks and fast breaks from their own defensive third. It was brilliant, right? They nearly got into the Champions League doing it. De Zerbi's Brighton was fantastic to watch, but the problem he's got is that was the meta 3 seasons ago now. Most teams don't press you that high up anymore because of this exact reason, because everybody started doing what Brighton were doing, so most teams try and sit in a low block. And I don't know how De Zerbi, who really does still like that brand of football, is doing it in Marseille. I don't know how he makes that work in the Premier League. Now, you give him a full summer and a transfer budget, maybe he adapts and he comes up with a new idea, maybe. But you're not doing that. You're giving him 7 games to get a team out of relegation bother. And I think putting him on a 5-year contract to do so, which I presume is going to have some kind of break clause, he hasn't got to stay there if they go down, is nuts. Absolutely nuts. I want to see it. I want to make a video about it. I want to watch those games of football. But if I was a Tottenham fan, I would be slightly worried here. Ironically, I do think you kind of want Dyche. I get Chrissy Hughton. I think Chrissy Hughton would have those boys, I said it before, they would swim through pools of custard for Chrissy Hughton. And that's all you need at this stage is just, can we be a little bit tighter at the back? Can we just work a little bit harder going forward? So that is, yeah.
When did Chris Hughton last manage?
Ghana, 2024.
Okay.
So it's not as long ago as you think.
Okay, I thought it was...
And he was at Forest about 2 years before that.
Okay.
So we're not talking like he's 10 years out of the game. I don't think Chrissy Hughton's this tactical, innovative, forward-thinking genius, but I do think Tottenham don't need that. I think they need someone who's just going to just tighten things up at the back, get them playing a really sensible system, and then hopefully get a couple more goals. Because they're not struggling to score goals. We did this in the video on them. They score enough goals to get themselves out of trouble. It's just they crumble away like a cheap biscuit. So that would not be my move. What do you think?
Well, I was just going to say, Peter Doodle 5132. Would you take Ryan Mason?
Yeah. Weirdly, I don't. Yeah. I'm not saying this should be your appointment for the next 5 years. I just think, it wasn't necessarily working under Thomas Frank. Although, if you go back and watch the video we did, the numbers were starting to pick up everywhere, and they really should have stuck with him until the end of the season. It dropped off a cliff under Tudor because it just wasn't quite landing the way they wanted it to. And obviously, he gave them a really complicated system to do. The players didn't really understand it. They didn't really suit it. He made things 10 times harder than they needed to be. The thing they need is just somebody who comes in and is trying to do the simplest things imaginable to let the quality of the squad get them out of trouble. And it's almost like the worse the manager you can get is, the better chance they've got.
Yeah.
And I think Ryan Mason fits that bill. absolutely perfectly.
It feels like it should be much more of a character-based appointment.
Yes,
rather than a
correct.
tactical-based
I
appointment.
actually agree with that. It
Like,
should
that's
be...
why I actually think Harry Redknapp would keep him up. I think Harry Redknapp would keep
The
him up.
Arsenal fan speaks, ladies and gentlemen. Harry Redknapp will keep them up.
I think you would.
Yep. Anything else on this topic?
Yeah, I think the De Zerbi appointment's nuts. If you're giving him a 5-year contract, it makes less than 0 sense. Because
I meant from the comments, mate. But thank you.
Oh, did you want my opinion? You didn't want my opinion. Fair enough.
I want to know what they think.
James Mowbray wants Steve McLaren.
It's not a terrible shout.
Steve McLaren's not a terrible
It's
shout.
not a terrible shout.
No, and he's out of a job. Who else we got?
He's just done that overlap interview.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's one comment that says John Messina. Was he former Portsmouth manager?
I don't think you mean that.
No, I think they mean Mourinho. No, I think they mean John Messina.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we will. If they do appoint De Zerbi, you will get a full video on this. But the clock is ticking. Let's go through the rest of the pre-supplied questions.
Yes. Favorite food.
Favorite food, is that in there?
At WeGoalie146.
Wow.
Favorite food.
Favorite food. Oh God. I mean, God, is it so boring to say pizza? But like a really good pizza.
Thin or thick crust?
Well, it depends what you mean by like a proper, like a Neapolitan style, like really nice. I used to like Franco Manca before it fell off a cliff. Rudy's is really good. There's a couple of non-chains I can't remember the name of. Do you know what it is? Actually, tell you the truth, give a death row meal, I'd probably have oysters. I love oysters. I haven't had oysters in so long as well. I really do love oysters. Moving on.
Do you play Clash of Clans from Julian Ford? That wasn't even a prepared question.
You just saw that and wanted to bring it up. I've never played Clash of Clans. However, it will not surprise you as someone who's worked on YouTube for this long. I have done so many Raid Shadow Legend adverts that I actually ended up getting the game on my phone. And do you know what? It doesn't suck.
What, Raid Shadow
Raid
Legends?
Shadow Legends does not suck.
This isn't a plug, is it?
No. Look. Nothing. No Raid advert about to fall out of my hands. They sent me the game and like a load of free credits and loads of cool like upgrades on stuff. The stuff they make the suckers pay for, obviously. And I had to get like the screen cap footage on my phone, so I was like, oh, I might as well play it a bit. And I got like weirdly addicted to it one Christmas. Weirdly addicted to it. It's not a terrible game, but no, I've never played Clash of Clans, but I assume it's like exactly the same thing.
Right, we'll do an actual football question.
Thank you.
At Gel Mercine, a legend of the channel. Can we talk about the various tactics for international teams challenging for the World Cup? Does it resemble the Premier League in any way? I know that the Dutch team is still playing a 3-box-3.
The answer to your question is yes, we can talk about international tactics. In fact, that's actually, wow, that's a really good idea. Maybe we should do a video that's like the difference between international football and domestic football. I think that would be really good to do before the World Cup. Great idea. Let's make a note of that, and we'll thank you profusely when we do the video. The main difference is time on the training ground. That's the thing people forget. People love to look at Premier League sides and the complex things they do, and then they scratch their heads when it's not happening in international football. Managers at international level, especially the England manager, whoever it is, gets a lot of criticism for the England team not being as good as the best Premier League teams, despite having most of the same players, right? But the reality is, you cannot do club football tactics, club football systems, club football patterns of play, rotations, anything like that. You cannot do that at international level because you get, 12 days a year on a training ground with these players? And if you miss one call-up because you're injured, you know what I mean? You get no contact time whatsoever with the managers. So you have to do the most basic thing you can do that maximises the players at your disposal, which is why it sometimes can look a little bit underwhelming, a little bit unexciting. Why aren't they doing this? Why aren't they doing that? So I actually think there is, and it's a very old school thought, but I actually think there's an element of you should use as many club partnerships as you possibly can, even at the expense of a much better player. I believe that wholeheartedly.
So, current England squad example, say like a Saka and Madueke kind of...
They don't play together.
Oh, okay, so you mean in terms of playing together rather than... Say like Ben White and Saka then, like that kind of example.
Yes, Ben White at right back and Saka... Well, that's a bad example because England's best position's kind of right back at the minute, but I would be... Put it this way, Ben White for me is so much further up the pecking order for England than I would have him just after Reece James, purely because he plays with Saka who's ahead of him. Like, I think Livramento is 10 times the right back, personally, in terms of what he gives you up and down, and a better fit for what Tuchel wants to do. But familiarity and rotations and interplay, you do get that. I'm really annoyed you came up with that specific example. That's a terrible one, but that's kind of the thinking.
Kind of thing. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep reading out names of people, reading out names that people are suggesting for the Tottenham job as well.
Yeah.
Just Gus Poyet.
I don't hate it.
Gus Hiddink.
I'd love that.
Vibe in the chat.
Love that.
And the final one, Nigel Pearson.
Nigel Pearson would get Tottenham into Europe this season. There's enough time. Look at that scrunched up middle part of the table. I think you get Nigel Pearson in. I think Tottenham are back in the Conference League.
Would you like another question?
Yeah, I'd love one. Thanks.
Yeah. Amgil-YT. When it comes to Premier League players competing in other settings, examples World Cup, FA Cup, Champions League, how do you translate their form from those other settings into Premier League analysis?
What? Did you read these through before we came on air?
No.
Right.
No. Evidently not. I thought you put them on in the order you wanted them asked.
No, they were the order they were.
I did think favourite food is the question of the stream.
This was I put the members' questions at the top.
Right.
And then I just put everything else in the order it came in.
Okay, so
what was it? When it comes to Premier League players competing in other settings, how do you translate their form from those other settings into Premier League analysis? As a North American, I recently discovered my love for footy. I saw O'Reilly do quite well in the Champions League match ahead of City game. I don't really... Oh, FPL? Then it ends in an FPL question. I don't really understand that question. Football's just football. I mean, I've just said international football is not just football because you get much less training time. But when it comes to somebody, I don't think the competition matters that much in terms of how you analyse the player. Obviously, how you analyse the game's quite different because, I mean, as we've seen in the Champions League this season, it's a lot more open. It's a lot more free scoring. There's far fewer low blocks and general shithousing. It's like a more fun competition to watch. How that translates to your FPL, I'm not the man to ask about FPL. If you're in the ACFC League or the ACFC Members League, you will see, I'm all right, I'm doing okay, but that's only because I haven't lost interest this year, so I'm actually updating my team. That's literally all it is.
You went above me last week, didn't you?
Yeah. Actually, the best advice I'll give anyone for FPL, right? It is not about how good you are and how clever your transfers are, right? It is simply about persistence. That's all FPL is, because 90% of that league, every league you're in, will give up before the end of that season. So all it is how many times across the season can you not forget to do your team? Hasn't got to be big genius transfers, but just if somebody's injured, get them out. If someone's not playing, get them out. If someone's got an obvious game, just keep on it, and you'll finish in the top 10% of everything.
I like that.
Thanks.
Dino Mamria sacked at Barrow after 5 games from Ivan Smith. That's his suggestion for the Tottenham job.
Okay.
Actual question. At Doc Slock, is one season too soon to want a manager out?
I don't think you can make sweeping statements like that. I think, in theory, yes, it is. Like, every manager should get a year. Do you know what I mean? Like, they put them on 3, 4, 5-year contracts. You should let them have time to build. You should let them put their mark on the team systematically. You should let them figure out which players they want to keep, which ones they don't, stuff like that. But at the same time, sometimes you can just tell, can't you? Like, I don't think Igor Tudor needed a year to tell you that was going to be a bad fit for Spurs. I don't think Ange needed a year to tell you that was going to be a bad fit for Nottingham Forest. Sometimes it's just... We do go too early on this, and I think we especially go too early on criticism. I think there's a weird reluctance from fans to just have, like, a transitional year. I think every year feels super important to everybody now. Probably because the money it costs you to actually go and support your team. Nobody wants to accept, like, we'll just see how it goes this season. So I think the pressure comes way too early, I think. Certainly if you go down the divisions, manager gets a job. So long as everything isn't catastrophically bad, they're given a year or two just to see what they can do with this. But that's what you want to play in the big leagues, you want to play in the big spotlight, so that's how it goes.
There's an incredibly rogue shout for a Spurs manager in the chat.
You're really enjoying this, aren't you?
I'm really enjoying
You're really enjoying this.
Yeah, I'm loving this. Ian Holloway.
Ian Holloway?
That wasn't the one I'm not going to read out. The other one's much more problematic. But yeah, Ian Holloway, I think, will do a job.
I'm going to see if where's the problematic one? How far do I have to scroll back?
It's currently on the screen. It's currently here. It is. It might be behind the camera, actually. You might be able to see it.
All right. All right, yeah, probably not that one.
Yeah,
good,
not-
right,
not-
cool,
not that one.
cool. Yeah, not for me, not for me.
Okay, at Finn Mason, as football is cyclical, sorry, when do you think positions will be simplified again?
Oh, I'm actually thinking of doing a video on this. I think the next major big tactical shift is just ballers. It's just ballers.
Baller League.
No, just ballers. Ballers. Adel Tarapt. Ballers. Ryan Shirky. I think because so many teams now are obsessed with man-to-man, right? Man-to-man press, man-to-man marking, go man-to-man across the pitch. Nobody can not know what their responsibility is because their responsibility is literally just one player. It does not matter where they go, get dragged out of position, just 1v1, put every player under pressure. The best counter-attack, the best way you beat a man-to-man system is individually. Because at some point it will just come down to 1v1s. And if you've got a player who they can take the ball with the other player right behind them and turn them, right? You're going to beat them. You're going to open up space elsewhere. If they can find a bit of space, they're going to beat one, possibly two players. The entire system crumbles. So I think you're going to see a lot of teams trying to get at least one absolute dick on the table baller in the next one or two transfer windows just to give them that option man to man, I think.
James Mowbray's response to that is, so Newcastle should bring back Ben Arthur and Sam Maximan then.
Yeah, weirdly, but the problem with it is, the reason everybody just doesn't have one now is because you still have to have them do that same job off the ball. And historically, don't know if you've ever played with good footballers, they don't really want to defend. So we're almost going to have to develop this new breed of unbelievably skillful, tricky, just playmaking footballers who also will get back into a 4-4-2 low block and do the job the other way. You find them, you've broken football, I think, in the next season or two.
If you were to make a Kevin Keegan, I would love it speech, which team would you be talking about? That's at Alexandria.
Do you know what? I replied to that and I was like, I might actually script this out and do it on the stream, but I just haven't had time to do that yet, right? But if I was doing a proper, I will love it if we beat them, right? It would simply be about every other YouTube channel that does similar content.
Nice. I thought you were going to go the Times. So.
No. They've got to go to TikTok and get something, all right? And I'll tell you. Did you say you thought I'd do it about the Times?
I thought you'd do it about the Times.
We play in this, I'll just derail the entire stream for a second. Tell you this. We play now in a Fleet Street League, because obviously we're part of the Independent. We play for the Independent team as part of the Fleet Street League against Guardian, Times, Telegraph, Daily Mail, CNN, Political Lobby, and The Mirror? Yeah. Have I missed one or added one? Anyway, it's about an 8-team league, all these other newspapers and sort of broadcasters. And we played the Times week before, was it 2 weeks ago now? Played the Times 2 weeks ago. Lovely game. Everyone had a great time. It was all good, but it did get a little bit spiky, I thought. There was a couple of little pushes, couple of little shoves, couple of little late challenges, things like that. But we don't have to play them again. So I actually wouldn't do the Kevin Keegan love it rant because we did beat them 3-1 and I did love it. Archie scored an absolute, he's too modest to tell you this. Archie scored an absolute worldie.
And in response to that, you made one of the best saves I've ever seen.
It was one of the best saves out. Yeah, it was unbelievable.
It was from behind you when you tipped it on the. It was a joke.
Yeah, it was.
Steve Bruce.
For a Tottenham job.
Keep giving you names.
I'll tell you who definitely would think that Steve Bruce would be a good appointment for Tottenham. Steve Bruce. And in fact, I bet he doesn't know why he's not getting the call.
In the way that Tim Sherwood on Sky Sports News has been sort of pitching himself for the Spurs job day in, day out.
Oh yeah, I'll do it. Tim, nobody asked if you do it. No, but I would do it. Yeah, I'll do it.
He says it's because the ownership wouldn't like his personality. Apparently.
Oh, right.
That's the reason.
Too much of a bad boy.
Millwall's son or MK Don's daughter.
Oh, we weren't sure whether we could do this. Millwall's son or MK Don's daughter. So, I mean this with the maximum amount of respect to Millwall. I'm leaving a big pause in there. A friend of mine, who shall remain nameless, who some of you may know him, has a game that he plays every year, which is he gets together two or three friends, and they get an away ticket at a Millwall game. So it's at the Den, right? And they go and sit in the away end, and they go all the way over. I'm not quite sure how the stadium plan works, but they go all the way over to the very far side of the away end because there's a gap in the stand, right, where the away end ends and the home end starts. So it's physically, you can't You know what I mean? You are as safe as you can possibly be. And the game they play, right, is that each of them, before the game kicks off, has to pick one Millwall fan, right, to wind up sufficiently that they get thrown out.
That's brilliant.
It's brilliant. And according to him, he's done it every season for about 6 or 7 years. There has only been one game, right, where none of them got thrown out. It's happened almost every single time they've played that game.
How long have they been playing the game?
6 or 7 seasons.
That's so good.
Always, you just pick someone and you just wind them up. If they're getting beat, all the better. But you just do all the classic away end gesticulating, and they get so angry. Eventually, security take them out.
Is this the football equivalent of running from bulls?
Kind of, yeah.
Sort of, you got your little red.
So yes.
hanky.
So to answer the question, MK Don's daughter, because that would never happen to her.
She's not getting a banning order.
She's not getting a banning order because some wind-up merchants decided to pick her out of a crowd.
I like that. At Smash Fourth.
Do you think it's a good idea for a video?
What?
Should we do it as a TikTok? Can we get Millwall fans chucked out at the home end?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be very good.
Should we do that?
I can't see the Independents signing it off.
Well,
If it's a social,
they never
I reckon
check.
we could.
We don't run anything by them.
I think if we did that, then after that we'd have to run everything by them individually.
Look. It is. If anyone who is more senior than us at the company we work for is watching this, one, if you've not got better things to be doing at 12:30 on a Monday, Jesus. But two, it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission. Why you you can't see him. I don't know what you're laughing for.
I think you're right.
Better to ask for forgiveness and permission.
Yeah.
I presume that's how you take your holiday days at this company as well, isn't it? Sorry, I was off. Hope that was all right. Anyway, next question.
If you were made sporting director at Newcastle for the summer, which players would you look to get? That's a lovely question. Really like that. That's Smash Fourth.
Yeah, I'd have to do a lot of research to answer that question.
You mentioned Ducat.
Ducat?
Ducat.
Ducat?
Not the cat, just the player.
The centre-back?
The lad at, the Belgian lad.
Keith Schmidt I really like, but looks like he's going to... The problem you've got with Newcastle is that the Premier League now hoovers up players so well because of the way the sell-on market works, right? So a lot of the sort of like... The way you'd play Newcastle on Football Manager, which is go out and get all the best highly rated young players in Europe, build them up, develop them, improve the squad as they go, and then if you lose one or two of them for loads of money, absolutely so be it. Newcastle can't even really go out and buy those anymore. Like, if you think about, like, Benjamin Šeško should not have gone to Man United. He should not have been £70 million and gone to Man United. He should go to us or to Brighton or to Villa or somewhere like that for 30 or 40 million, and then eventually maybe make that next step. Sort of exactly the same way Isak did. But now he just goes to Man United now. That's just... They're almost skipping this development. The big clubs, let's say, they're so unafraid of taking a risk on a big signing because of the way they're so good at moving them on. That it doesn't really matter anymore. So they just buy them. So they need to go get quality players in every single position. Ironically, I think, but they need to shop in the sort of 20, 30, 40 pound market as opposed to the 60, 70 or 80. Like, they can't spend 55 million on Visser again. They can't spend 70 million on a Voltamada. They have to go and get some good bargains who will come for 20 or 30 million, ideally to then be really good players. At some point during the summer, I'll do a shopping list video for that.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I'd like to. The Athletic have started doing a shopping for format, and I am going to steal that.
At least you've told them.
I'm going to steal that. I think it's a really nice idea, and I think I would have a lot of fun with it.
I think you would as well. One of the comments, where did robot voice Adam go and who is this?
Oh, do you know the story behind that?
I think they need the context of that.
Do you know what it is? So the context is we did a Newcastle video the other day and I had a weird robot voice. Now the annoying thing was it was a sponsored video, so we did not have a pinned comment to play with. We couldn't mess with that, right? So there was no way I could really notify everybody of like what the problem was. But basically, this didn't work. This was not, it was on, but it was not talking to the camera the way it's supposed to. Other people use this studio with not a maximum amount of respect for it, is the polite way I would say that.
Shots fired?
Look, as I said afterwards, that did feel like it was 75% my fault.
That's gone up.
But not what I
It
said.
was 50-50 originally.
Was it 50-50?
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
definitely 75% my fault. I should have done a better check. But anyway, Archie does this. He has this AI tool that he has used before. So we took the audio from this camera here, which sounded awful, ran it through this AI filter, and it was either not use the video or use that because we didn't have time to re-record it. I thought initially it sounded okay, but then when you started listening to it in a long patch, it was a bit weird. The comments weren't that bad.
One of the comments correctly identified exactly what had happened and what AI had used to do it. Our audience are geniuses.
Nerds, man. I love you lot.
Absolute
I
nerds.
love you lot.
Big fan of that. Yeah.
Right. How about we're working our way through these?
Yeah.
Actually, I'll tell you what.
Which ones you wanna do?
Take a pause from the pre-prepared questions. Let's rattle through some of the. I don't want all the ones in the comments getting missed, and we've had a lot of comments.
Okay. Any possibility of more EFL content? That's from Carl McKenna 647.
Yes, we always do extra EFL content towards the end of the season once it's become clear which teams sort of look like they're getting likely to come back up. Did a lot of research on Middlesbrough for the Michael Carrick video, so that's something we could potentially use. Who's top of the championship at the minute?
Still Covenant.
Yeah, still Coventry. Coventry's a video we're definitely going to do at some point. If Wrexham get in the playoffs, there will 100% be a Wrexham video. We nearly did it the other week when they were playing Chelsea. And then if there's a particularly interesting story a little bit further down the pyramid, maybe haven't York City scored like 400 goals or something?
400 goals?
I've exaggerated. It's over 100 already.
Blimey.
And they might not. I'm sure the York City thing is they've scored over 100 goals. They're like 20, 30 goals more than any other team. And they might not even go up.
Oh, that's a video.
So maybe there's a video in that. So yes, to answer your
video.
question, there will 100% be EFL content coming up.
Please make a video about Chelsea like you did for Newcastle.
What, like, should they get rid of Liam Rosenior?
Yeah.
It's too. Look. Liam Rosenior, I think, is actually doing a pretty good job. I know the results have started to tail off a little bit, but when you look at what he's got to work with, it's an incredibly talented squad of players. But we've said in so many Chelsea videos, you need experience in a team like that, and they're just so devoid, I think, of natural leaders. Like Levi Colwill being out was a massive, massive miss. Like they see him as that player, but like he's still dead young. You know what I mean? They haven't had a 30-year-old play for them for like 3 years or something. Like you've got to give Liam Rosenior this season and the summer, and then at least up to Christmas, I would say. There's no point making that appointment otherwise. And also, he really wants his teams to play out from the back with the goalkeeper. That's his whole thing, and he's trying to do that with Sanchez and Jorgensen. And as you know, I think Robert Sanchez is possibly the most overly maligned player in the league. He's had an absolutely fine season, and people just look at 1 or 2 catastrophes as like a massive reason why, they'll never do anything. But he's not amazing with the ball at his feet. And I think with the right goalie, they would do better.
Yeah. I've asked people to pitch their EFL clubs for a video.
Okay.
There's a couple of Derby mentions, Lincoln City going up. One of them says Bolton, but they're not actually that interesting, so maybe not.
Okay.
But yeah. So as they keep coming through, I will pitch them onto you. What else have we got? No, it's not about Rosenior. It's the ownership. Yeah. There you go.
Oh, so the whole end of the video where it's like, yeah, the manager is part of a problem. Yeah, maybe.
It's a good job Mike Penders is incoming then. From
Is he definitely incoming though? Because obviously they own him, but
Yeah, because he's on loan there, so he'll come
yeah, but
back.
is he definitely coming back this summer?
He's coming back.
Is Mike Penders the answer though?
He's an answer. I don't know if he's the right
He's
one.
unbelievable with the ball at his feet, but is his overall goalkeeping good enough to play in the Premier League?
Guess we'll find out.
Guess we'll find out.
What else have we got in the chat? We had another very problematic suggestion for Spurs manager, Idi Amin.
You know what? I've just listened to a full podcast about Idi Amin. Have you listened to that as well?
Yeah.
The Finn versus History 4-parter on Idi Amin is
Hell of a boxer.
hell of a boxer. Yeah, I'll not be. I'll not be repeating those jokes and pretending like they're okay. But I certainly was enjoying them. So,
get your questions. Get your questions in the chat. Would you sell Voltemada? Is there an argument he isn't right for the Premier League? Cannot remember.
look, don't get me wrong. If Bayern come in the summer and they're like, look, we really want this guy. How much do you want for him? And you can make a profit, make your money on him. If you get 80 million for him, maybe something like that, then I think there's probably an argument that it's a good way to get some funds together. I think if you're looking at selling him at a loss or just looking at selling him for the sake of it, I think absolutely not. I think he's a fantastic footballer. he's been in this division and this club and this league for months, and he's shown really good signs. He was brilliant against Chelsea in midfield, although I don't see him as being a midfielder at all. He had a very good run of goal scoring. He's absolutely proved that he can score goals at this level. So no, I think it'd be mad to get rid of him.
I agree, for what it's worth. This question, big teams are going to do the not press thing versus Arteta. How does he combat against that the same way that City did? He thinks that he thinks doesn't think it's a rare thing. He thinks the midfielders need to move and the attacking midfielders not so rigid. That's from Mohammed 456 full.
How do Arsenal deal with being Man City, basically?
Yeah, how do they combat
if everybody
that?
puts players behind the ball? I mean, most teams put all their players behind the ball against Arsenal.
I think it was the not pressing thing, the 4 players not pressing the back line.
Doing exactly what City did.
Exactly what they did in
That's
that league
not
cup
easy to do.
Yeah.
I think if you start seeing a lot of mid-table or lower-table Premier League sides trying to do that against Arsenal, basically do like a really high block, but not a high press, I think you'll have most of Arsenal's team absolutely licking their lips at that.
Yeah.
Like that's a really, really hard thing for a team to do. Man City are good at it because Pep's worked on it before. He's literally done it in other games. Man United did it to them in the FA Cup final that time, so they've seen it up close. You have to work incredibly hard at it. And if you look at sort of like the running Doku and Semenyo did as part of that, you can't just transpose that onto any other team in the division and it'll work. So I actually think that would be really good for Arsenal if other teams tried that. And also, I think if you put Raya in goal instead of Kepa, it's harder to pull off again because he's better distributing the ball. So all of a sudden, it's harder.
That's where we desperately missed Odegaard. Says Ivan Smith, and I think that's fair. Would you do a video about Hearts?
A lot of you don't know this about me, but my dad played for Hibs. I'm just going to let that sit for a second. I'm a second generation Highby. So I've been saying for ages the Scottish football desperately needs another team to win that league who aren't Celtic and Rangers. But what I didn't mean was that it should be Hearts. Now, can the analyst in me? The analyst? The analysis?
Analyst.
That's it. Can the analyst in me park that long enough to just enjoy one of the most groundbreaking things that have happened in European football for a very long time, by the way? That is a dynasty that's run for 40 years. That getting broken up that's staggering. Can I park that long enough to just get over the fact it's Hearts? Maybe. But they'd have to win the league for that to happen, though, wouldn't they?
Yeah, how far ahead are they?
And there's still a wee while to go. Let's have a look.
They've probably still got to play Hibs another 4 times, don't they, or something?
All right. Well, okay. Let's not have that classic English sneering about Scottish football.
8 times, did they?
Yeah, it's not that many. It's not. You're being ridiculous now. So they are through. Oh, they lost. They lost at the weekend. They lost the last game before the international break. They lost to Kilmarnock.
Would that be considered a bottle if they don't?
They are. It'd be a bottle job. Yeah, they are 3 points ahead now of Rangers. 5 points ahead of Celtic.
And has the split already happened?
The split starts, I believe, now. I think. What were we up to? Where's fixtures? April. First phase. No, not the split yet. No, not the split yet. 2 more rounds of games. They're away to Livingston on Sunday the 5th of April.
Tough trip that.
You don't want to be going to Livingston right now. And then they got Motherwell at home.
Which is good, thanks.
And then the split. So glad we got you a microphone, because if they'd missed that, I'd have been fuming. Next question, please. Actually, sorry, I didn't answer that. If Hearts win the Scottish League, I will absolutely do a video on how that happened, because it is just interesting.
I think it's worthy of one. Would you do a Big Sam Bolton analysis as like a classic analysis? That's one of the questions.
Do you know what? I really like doing the classic videos. Really, really, really like doing the classic videos. We will almost certainly bring 1 or 2 of them back. We'll find an occasion to do it. There's a little gap between, obviously, football ending and football starting again. If we do a classic one, I will put Big Sam's Bolton in the list. We have to let members pick that, I think. Yeah, members get to pick that, so we will absolutely put Big Sam's Bolton in there. And do you know what? He's not that busy, Big Sam. I don't think it's beyond the realms of possibility we get him in to talk about that.
Get one alive.
Yeah. Talk about Big Sam. Big Sam's Bolton with Big Sam from Bolton. That'd be really good.
Could we go to Bolton to do it?
He probably doesn't live there.
Get Fernando Hierro.
He probably doesn't live there, does he?
No.
And I found out Sean Dyche lives in Mayfair, which I probably should be saying on a live stream, but he's got a really, really nice big house in a really posh part of London.
Do Wrexham make it to the Prem this season? And if they do, is it too soon?
I don't think they do. I think if you look at the underlying numbers, the team that always wins the playoffs for me is a team that's like probably 8th now. You know what I mean? It's a bit like you're looking at the league table there, like a Norwich or a Watford or a Derby or something, who have a late run and are just playing really well around the time of the playoffs. Wrexham have just dropped out, haven't they? Southampton overtook them the other week. Yep. I think thing is, we can say as well, oh, it's too soon. But the reality is, everyone said it's too soon for every promotion they've had. The Championship was too soon. League One was too soon for them. Championship was too soon for them. So who knows? They are scaling up the investment and the money they have to spend really, really well. So maybe. Again, it's up there with Tottenham getting relegated. I'd like to see that for no other reason than it's just interesting, isn't it?
Big Sam's from Dudley. He hates the fact he's from Dudley, so don't bring it up.
Okay.
It's one of the comments.
My friend's from Dudley. He also hates the fact he's from Dudley. What is it about Dudley?
What's that? What's Dudley? I don't know. Is it like outside Birmingham?
Yeah. Dudley. Everyone, no one can talk in a Dudley accent, but everyone can say Dudley in a Dudley accent.
Adam, mate, you forgot to make it members only. No, this isn't members only.
No, we will. These, yeah, I'll give you a bit. These will be members only eventually. We just never done one before, and we thought it'd be much more interesting if everybody could see it. Then, when it is members only, you can make a decision of, oh, I actually really enjoyed that. That actually might make membership worth it for me. Or, oh no, I've seen those for free. That doesn't sway me. I wouldn't blah, all that. So it's we're going to do one or two of these completely for everyone. And then, as with all great drug pushers, the price of the brick goes up.
How's the history of the squad numbers video going, by the way?
Saw that, and I'm so glad you asked me. We've done that. We did a while ago. We did a members vote on a video thing, and we had, I can't remember, we had Wrexham in there. We had history of football shirt numbers. We had, remember the other two were? I can't. Anyway, so that one, history of football shirt numbers. I've been threatening to do it for a while. We have written it. We've recorded it. It is in the process of being edited, and you will get to see it next week. Because I am going on holiday and Archie is not. So he will finish that, edit it and publish it. So it'll feel like I'm still here when really I'm not. But I've made it. It's maybe my favourite thing we've ever done. And you'll see it next week.
You going anywhere nice?
I am going to you're going to laugh. I'm going to the training camp the Welsh FA takes the Welsh national team to for home games to basically rehab my many agonies.
Oh, wow.
I was going to talk about this. Right, so we're a very rare unsponsored video. I can actually do some charity plugging.
Yeah.
So there's loads of you here. I'm doing the London landmarks in just under 2 weeks, right? Now, I've raised all my money for that. I only had a very sort of small target for it. I put it in 2 videos, and some of you were probably here, donated very generously. That was amazing. A month after that, so in 6 weeks' time, I am doing the Hackney Half again. I'm doing 2 half marathons in the space of a month. I don't know why. Everything hurts already, right? And I'm doing that one for CALM, the Campaign Against Living Miserably. They're a suicide prevention charity. I did the Hackney Half for them last year as well. We raised absolutely loads of money. Can we put the link? So if anybody thinks that's a good cause and would like to donate, I'm going to put the link where?
In the description of this video. So if you come back to it, it'll be in there once you've done. Because I don't have the link. I put it in the chat otherwise. But
no, if I send you the link.
Send me the link.
If I the link,
yeah, I'll fire it in the
can
chat.
it go in the chat? Right, yeah. Hang on. How do I find my own fundraising link? Oh, there we are. Right. So, yeah, I try my best to do most of my fundraising for mental health charities because that is just a cause that is close to my heart. I'm not going to muddy the water here, but I've done the other one for another charity, but we're doing this one for CALM, who we raised loads of money for last year. And I just think they're great. So if you're in London, at any point in the next either 2 or 6 weeks and you want to come down and watch the half marathon and have a sign with my name on it, that would be really, really funny because some people did that last year and I really liked that. It made my heart do this, which is not a good thing, by the way. It's an actual condition. If you want, I could just detail all the things that are wrong with me physically, which is why I'm going. We've got totally off a sidetrack here.
You've even had a question about how your butt's doing.
Oh, do you want? Oh, right. We'll get into this. So I'm going to this in Wales, the Vale Resort or something it's called, and where the Welsh team. It's right next to the Welsh FA. It's where the Welsh team stay on international breaks, and it's got like loads of sports rehabbing equipment, people on site, stuff like that. Because at the end of that week, I've then got this first half marathon, and right now I have a misaligned hip. Right, that's what my arse problems are. So I've been getting really bad groin pain when I've been running, and it turns out that I didn't have any groin problems at all. What I actually had was a misaligned hip. So this physio like lay me down on this thing and like loosened my legs, right? Then he took a photo of my feet and they were that far apart. So my hips, because my hips misaligned. So he gave me all these exercises there, which are all about literally just like making my arse take over from my legs, because apparently it wasn't doing that. And I did them so much that when I went back last week, I'd misaligned my hip the other way. I'd overcorrected it. So every day I have to do this 30-minute exercise routine, which is literally just pure arse work. I've got to do these bridges, which are just like you lift your entire body up with your arse. They absolutely knack. I've got to do this foam roller, which goes right into the groin, which is incredibly painful. I've got to do hip thrusts with a barbell, which is really heavy, and that's pure just arse pushing. Can you imagine doing these in a gym when other people are there?
This is a simply hilarious injury.
Oh, it's so fun. You mount a foam roller in the most intimate way imaginable, and then you're just doing loads of like thrusts, effectively at different angles. So it's incredibly galling. However, I've been doing it for a month now, and I had my first pain-free run on Saturday. So it's all going in the right direction. But half marathons suck anyway. Doesn't matter whether you got any injuries or not. They absolutely suck. So what really helps is when you're running and your legs are giving up and you're really out of breath and your lower back started hurting for some reason, you think about the fact you've raised loads of money for charity and it's kind of all worth it. So you do just push through. So if the campaign against living miserably calm is a charity you think is good or worthwhile, or you've just got a tenner you do not know what to do with, you just waste it. Maybe it goes on a coffee, who knows. Please feel free to donate it to that. That would be amazing. If we can raise a certain amount, that'd be fantastic. I'm trying to raise 10 grand this year across. I'm doing 4 half marathons and a few other charity things. I'm trying to raise a total of 10 grand. So every little helps, literally. Every tiny amount does make a massive, massive difference. Next question, please.
From James Mowbray. Do you follow any other sports, or does football take up all of your life?
Great question. So there's only one TV in the flat, and currently my flatmate is she's not in traction. She can't really do much at the minute. She had a bit of a bad injury, so she's watching a lot of telly, and she has discovered Formula One, and she really likes Formula One. So she got through all of Drive to Survive in about 2 weeks. Right, and now she watches the F1, and it's made me, for the first time, really actually quite appreciate F1.
It's good enough.
It's good for. I never got it. I never got it at all. But sort of half watching Drive to Survive while she had it on, and seeing the way it's like got her that quickly, it's actually it moves me now. I'm going to put the air conditioner on because I'm starting to sweat here. F1 moves me a bit now, but it never used to. I really like BBL, which is the British Basketball League, not the Brazilian butt lift. Although, Newcastle Eagles fan, obviously. They used to be really good and win everything. Now they're not and don't, but still. What other sports do I like? I like golf when it's the Ryder Cup. Maybe that's just some sort of anti-American prejudice I've got, but I find that really entertaining. That's it, really. Other sports. I don't really do any other sports.
You're not a cricket fan, are you?
Nah, I hate cricket. Hate cricket, hate rugby. I play Warhammer. That's my other sport. That's my other big activity. That feels like a sport to me.
I think if darts is a sport, then...
Oh, I love the darts, obviously. Love the darts. You got to be in better shape to play 40k than you do to play darts. You'd be standing slightly leaning over a table about this height for 4 to 5 hours at a time.
Could that be not helping your hip issues?
I haven't played in ages. No,
okay.
I just pay it and that's bad for my back. Everybody's like, oh, when did you get the idea to use like a really nice green neoprene table with little figures on it to do all the football stuff. I was like, play loads of 40k. There's something really like tactile and nice about this that you can't get with a digital screen, and that's playing 40k.
Can we get a 200k special where Adam shows us a goalkeeping masterclass?
Right. Oh, can I talk about this? I had a meeting on Friday. I had a call on Friday with a potential commercial partner who is in the goalkeeping space. They are a company who do goalkeeping stuff, and we have talked about potentially doing some goalkeeper-themed videos on the channel with which they would partner. They would partner with us. So probably not for the 200k thing. That's probably going to be the football shirts history video. But yes, soon. I would like to do it.
There's been about 20 questions that I don't understand.
It's about 40k.
What army do you play?
Right, I'll write this off really. We'll lose so many people if I stay on this too long, right? But I'll rattle through it. So I've got a Space Marines army. It's a homebrew chapter. It's retro. If you watch the Astartes animated thing, it's just I made them. I'm like the only person who's got that. I also have a massive Drakari army that is color shift painted, so it's green or purple depending on how you look at it. I really like that. I've got a Sisters of Battle army, which was the first one I had. They're really good. And in a minute, I'm painting an Exodite army. I've gone and bought the dinosaurs. I'm kit bashing every single model. If you want to know more about that, get me on thingy and Instagram or something, and I will show you that because I'm painting dinosaurs right now, and it's brilliant.
I really enjoyed that.
Not as much as me, mate.
What else we got? Can England win the World Cup?
Sure, yeah, England can win the World Cup. They absolutely can. The conditions are going to be tough. It's a long tournament. I think the team that wins the World Cup is the one that gets the luckiest with the injuries. Like, every team can afford to lose one or two players, but if you start losing, if you lose two players in a similar position that massively affect the way you play, like I think England losing Elliot Anderson costs them the World Cup. Not the best player in the squad by any stretch of the imagination, but what he is going to do for the players around him is vital. And I think then trying to get Kobbie Mainoo to do that or Adam Wharton to do that, brilliant players in their own right, but not at the thing they're going to need Anderson to do. So I think if the players you need to make your style of play work are fit for the tournament, you've got a really good chance of winning that tournament. My concern for England is centre-back.
Who are you going with?
Well, we talked about this here. I don't know, and I don't think Tuchel knows. Maguire's got really good experience. He's never ever had a bad game for England at a national tournament. Maguire, he's always been faultless for them. Mark Gay's obviously at Man City, but are Mark Gay and Harry Maguire, is that a combination you want to use? Does that feel like it works? Would you rather have Konsa in there? Like I think that's the hardest thing for England at the minute is who they're playing at centre back.
Yeah. I think because we've got a lot of centre backs, but I don't think we've got anyone in that like top tier of centre back. I think Mark Gay actually is.
He's on his way. He's definitely. I think coming out of that tournament, he'd probably be considered a top centre back. But who'd you put with him? Do you build the entire defence around him in that case? Which goes back to the point of what if 3 games in he gets a twinge? Yeah. Konsa Maguire for the rest of the tournament. It's tough. It's tough.
Could stay fit.
It's tough. You just got to see who stays fit.
Thoughts on the Arsenal players dubiously
dropping out of international duty. Dubious.
I don't care. Are any of them dropping out of countries who have still got qualifiers to play?
No, the only 2 that are staying are Gyökeres and Calafiori, and they've both got World Cup playoff finals.
Right, so the only 2 that have actually got important games to play have stayed.
They can stay.
And everyone else has dropped out for a friendly.
More teams should do it.
Don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. You shouldn't do it. If you're called up, you should play. But I don't care if you do it. Put it that way.
Well, Ben White, you were at the England Euro.
Yeah, I was at the England Euro.
Were you one of the booing Ben Army?
No, I was absolutely creased. He got booed when he came on. Mildly booed when he came on. I was like, is that because... And I didn't get it at first. I was like, is that because he wouldn't play? He rejected a couple of call-ups. That's weird. And then it was so... I know this came across on telly. It was so funny. Because Wembley's one of those stadiums that can't just naturally generate its own atmosphere. Families, tourists, that kind of thing. It not only does it have goal music, but it does that. Do you do it at the Emirates as well, where it's like the goal scorer, number 12, Ben.
Oh, we did it for a little bit.
The call and response thing. It did that, and he persisted with doing it, even though nobody was doing it back and was just booing. It was so. It's just this guy just saying Ben 3 times and nobody saying why. Everybody just booing.
Surely you'd give up after the first or second.
No, I don't think he was paying attention. It was so funny. It was so funny.
Pre-recorders. Yeah.
So funny.
Weird behaviour that. Weird behaviour.
What did you think?
Booing him. I don't get it. What booing him for?
Because he's let his country down. You should have to phone up the bereaved relative of a soldier.
I'll tell you what. If he didn't look like Ben White, he wouldn't get booed. I think it's because he looks like Ben White. If Ben White looked like someone else,
If he didn't look like he lived in Dubai,
if Ben White looked like Harry Maguire, he's not getting booed. But it's because he looks like he was on Love Island season 3.
Okay,
He's getting booed. It's my take on it.
it's a take.
It is indeed a take. Hey Adam, any thoughts on Mania this year? Presumably the rest.
Oh, WrestleMania. Let me think. What do I know? Nice that CM Punk's got a headline match. I don't know if he did last year. I was very well aware that he always wanted to do that. Just please for all the ex-WCPW guys. That's my stance on wrestling at all times now. I think Drew's got an alright match. Good for him. Cody, obviously. That's still one of the weirdest experiences of my entire life. Yeah, I heard the Royal Rumble was a bit disappointing. I hope WrestleMania's good. I'm not going, if that's the answer to your question.
This is a really good question. It's just come in. How did you learn to analyse football tactics?
I can't do the answer I want to do there.
Me.
Yeah, you know the obvious one. No,
Yeah.
I didn't really. I wouldn't say I actually analysed football tactics in any sort of formal way. Like I don't think tomorrow I could just go and work at a club. You know what I mean? So I don't think it really counts as sort of analysing it properly. What I did learn how to do was to present stuff on YouTube, and that's just from practice. I've been doing this for 10 years or something like that. I started doing Game of Thrones stuff, then other nerd things, Marvel, TV, film, video games, stuff like that, the aforementioned wrestling. And then you just sort of take the ability to translate information as you get it to an audience of people, with the fact that I quite like football tactics from a personal perspective, and it just sort of happened quite naturally. Played a lot of Football Manager, obviously when I was younger. Read Inverting the Pyramid before saying you'd read Inverting the Pyramid became a bit of a cliche. And yeah, just here we are. This is not a lifelong plan I've ever had or anything that was even remotely well structured or prepared for. It's just sort of happened. So if you enjoy that, that's on you, not me.
From Ivan Smith, are you considering making a video on how set pieces have changed over time because of how hotly debated they are? And I'm going to add to that, or do you think it's been overdone?
Yeah, I think, just to follow on from that previous question, I think more qualified people than me to talk about how set pieces are structured have done videos on how set pieces are structured. Like, I think there's such a minutiae to that. I think that's really sort of like, you have to know how clubs are putting that together rather than just watching what happens at the time. And they change, don't they, so much. I think by the time I learned enough to feel comfortable talking about that, it would have moved on. So no. Also, I don't know if that's as interesting a video as it feels like it would be.
Mr. Bean.
What about Mr. Bean?
Comments. I'm assuming for Spurs manager.
Oh, Mr. Bean for Spurs manager. It couldn't be worse. Yeah, fine. Don't mind that.
A couple of questions here on the Northern Ireland national team. Do you think they'll make a major tournament in the future?
The fact they've expanded the World Cup means I think anybody now should realistically have an aspiration of going. But the problem is, like, the bar has lowered for certain parts of the world that teams who would never have dreamed of getting into a tournament. Like, Cape Verde didn't have this as a realistic aspiration. Curacao were there. Like, they were never looking to qualify for a World Cup seriously. But I would say every single team in Europe is. And I don't think the bar's dropped that much for them. Like, the European teams who end up at this tournament, none of them are going to be like, wow, I can't believe they're there. You know what I mean? It's not going to be like Malta aren't going to be there. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. It's just going to... There's just more teams who all feel like they should be at a World Cup are going to be at a World Cup. I'm devastated that Ireland, Northern Ireland and Wales aren't going to be there because that's going to be a lot less fun for us to cover in the summer. But yeah, there's no reason Northern Ireland shouldn't make it. You just need one or two real quality players and then a manager who can make even the most rudimentary League One central midfielder functional around them, and you can go now, I think.
at their lineup and like their entire starting 11 were either in the Championship or League One.
Just like you say, throw a couple.
They're miss. I think
quality.
what made it look like Ireland, for example, we're going to go, right, is obviously Troy Parrott. Now, Troy Parrott's not exactly being heralded as like the next Gareth Bale or anything. He's not on that level. But he's clearly in national football, he's a match winner. And you just need one or two match winners in there and then a system around them. And all of a sudden, you've got a really, really good chance. And Northern Ireland, I just don't think they've got that match winner yet.
No, I agree. Chances of the US embarrassing themselves at the World Cup,
Right.
as a country or as a football team?
Oh, good question. We're going to do a video on the USA this week. Watch them for the first time in a while against Belgium. Thought it was very interesting for multiple reasons. Some good, some bad. I'm going to turn this air conditioner off now because I'm too cold. I thought it was good for a lot of reasons, some good, some bad. And Pochettino said that their aspiration should be the semi-final. And as I said to you this morning, I think any team hosting a World Cup, their aspiration should be the semi-final. You obviously brought up Qatar. There are exceptions, obviously, but I think if you're a serious team with a serious domestic league and you've got, like players who play at the top level in your national side, the home advantage and the momentum and the occasion, you should be looking to get to the semi-final. Whether or not it's realistic or not is another question entirely. We'll examine that in the video. But I do think that is where your focus should be.
Couldn't see the difference between the kits, so couldn't watch it. That was one of the
Yeah, it wasn't great. Yeah, it wasn't great.
not ideal. Yeah, bloody Ryan Manning giving away a stupid penalty for Ireland now.
Oh, was that Miguel posting, is it?
Did you get a chance to watch that game?
I watched it, but I'm not trying to drag our esteemed colleague Miguel Delaney, but he had a press conference at Wembley, I think, before the Ireland game, and then went and watched it in the pub, and he was devastated that they didn't go through, understandably so. And what was his tweet? I really liked it. I'm not picking out individuals here, but giving that penalty away right after you scored the goal, that kind of is
exactly.
It was an individual. That yeah.
Got members coming here from @PoopLouder.
God, should I share this? I went to a really nice. My mum's down at the minute. My mum's down in London. She's looking after my stepbrother's kids. So you don't even know all those details. I went to a really, really nice brunch place with her on Sunday. And I just felt a little bit peaky while I was there. And they only had one really nice toilet, and I can never go back.
It was a really nice toilet.
It was a really nice toilet.
What's your go-to Tesco meal?
I was really tempted to say where it was there. What's my go-to Tesco meal deal? I'm probably going to get it today, actually, because, oh, God. Do you want to know just a stupid story about me?
Go on.
So, again, this goes back to my flatmate having an injury, not being able to do a lot of stuff at the minute. I've been doing all the meals in the flat. So I've been doing meal prep for her as well as meal prep for me. I'm a big meal prepper, right? But we've been doing the same meal prep for over a month now, right? And it's got a little bit boring. So I was like, hey, do you know what? My friend sent me a discount off one of those meal prep boxes. You know, the ones you get, they come in the big box and they give you all the food and you make them. And I was like, why don't we do that this week just to mix it up a bit? Like, oh yeah, great idea. So we sat down on Saturday? And we were going through all the options for the meals you can order for this box, right? And we were looking at the choice isn't great, we thought. So I was like, I'll have a look at the other competitor, the other major brand in this space that does the other coloured box, right? And I had a look, and they were even worse. They are very, very, very unspectacular. So I went back. The problem is with the other one, they don't let you pick the box. You have to sign up for it. Then you get to see the meals. So I had a look, then I just cancelled it straight away, right? However, went back to the other one and ordered the meals we actually wanted. I have unwittingly ordered both. So they dispatched the box before I cancelled it on the other one. So that's turned up today, and I've got the one I actually wanted turning up tomorrow. So I've now got 8 kits for making 16 meals that all need to get used in the next 5 days.
You've had a mare there, haven't you?
I've had a mare there, but my freezer's never going to be better stocked in its life. Anyway, to answer your question, my go-to Tesco meal deal, which I'm going to be getting as soon as we get off this stream, is I like the deli meat feast sub they do, the longer one. The Tesco around the corner from here does Walker's tomato ketchup crisps, the greatest crisp ever made, by the way. And then I would get a non-fizzy drink because I'm trying to cut down on fizzy drinks. But if you want the honest answer, it's a Pepsi Max.
You dabble in iron brew as well, don't you?
If I've had it, look, if I'm tired or I've been out, if I need a little bit of zhuzh, need a little zhuzh, I'll get a hospital flavoured iron brew.
Hospital flavour.
Original, yeah, hospital flavour.
Why is it coined that?
Because I don't know if they still do, given how much the NHS is on its arse. But if you had surgery, you wake up, you'd have a glass and a bottle of original iron brew next to you because it's so full of glucose. Yeah. Wow. You never had any major surgery?
Yeah. I never had iron brew though.
God, I mean, I'm going back a while since I had it.
Was this in Scotland or was this?
No. Sorry, did you say iron brew?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said Lucozade.
Oh, no, they're kind of the same, aren't they?
Yeah, well, sort of. Yeah, Lucozade is what I mean. Lucozade.
Ah, I see. So iron brew won't help you at all.
Oh no, not to sound like Peter Crouch talking about getting his arse eaten out, but I'm partial. I'm partial to an iron brew. I hope that answers your question.
Right, shall I go to some of the pre-prepared questions?
Yeah. People did actually submit these. Let's rattle through these as quickly as possible.
Okay, what's the main reason for Championship sides struggling to stay up in the Premier League? I wouldn't say that's pretty an issue.
Pride. It's pride, right? Because you do really well in the Championship, you score 100 goals, you barely concede any goals, right? And you go up and you go, hey, do you know what it is? We're actually a good team. We're actually a good team, right? We play out well from the back. Whatever our style of play is, we're really good at it. We've actually got the Championship's top scorer, so we'll keep him. And our centre-back was in the team of the year, so we'll keep him, right? You're not playing that division anymore. What you did in the Championship does not matter at all when you get promoted now, such as the step up, right? What you have to do is look at the team you've got and gone, do you know what? He was in and out. He was in and out of the team last year, that guy, but he would actually be a no-nonsense, proper bruising centre-back who will not get bullied. He's actually going to be in that team next year. Our majestic ball-playing... Our Taylor Harwood-Bellis.
I was thinking him.
Not ready yet. He's not ready to be a Premier League centre-back for you. You should move him on. No, he's brilliant for you in the Championship. You should move him on. Pride is what hurts teams the most. And I think Sunderland especially... Granted, to an extent, they had their hand forced because Dortmund came in and took Joe Bellingham off them. And was it Brighton took Tom Watson?
Yep.
Two ball carriers, very intrinsic to the way they play. They weren't a great passing team, Sunderland, but they were very good at carrying the ball up the pitch, and they lost two of their best players for doing that in the summer. So instead of going, oh, can we get anybody who does that so we can be as good as we were last year? They tore it up. They went and got units, runners, bullies, physical players, and now they don't get made fun of in this division. And I think that's got to be the blueprint. You've just got to tear it up, spend the money, and you might stay up.
At Dan Perrin, and this is just a question. If Spurs go down, who do you think stays from their first team?
That's one for you.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'm not going to take that question because Archie Corbett has already done a fantastic social media post, which I'm sure he'll direct you to at some point, where he picks the Spurs starting 11 for next season. Although I believe you want to revise some of it now, don't you?
Well, specifically, it's for the Lincoln away game, their first game of the season.
Yeah.
I think I want to add in Dragerson. I forgot about him.
Yeah, Dragerson over Danzo.
Maybe Danzo. Danzo's done a little bit more recently to prove to me he's not going to be a Championship next season. And Kinski, I think bless him, I don't think he'd be playing the Championship. He'd be off. Yeah.
I actually think Dom Solanke.
Do you think he'd stay?
Yeah, I think Dom Solanke stays.
Really?
Yeah.
He was in the Championship like semi-recently in football.
I think Dom Solanke stays.
Wow.
Anyway.
That'd be a big move if he stays.
Come on, we're rattling these off.
Yeah. In your opinion, who's the greatest classic rock guitarist of all time?
Oh, we were talking about this in the office. The correct answer is Hendrix. There was guitar playing before Hendrix, guitar playing after Hendrix. But my favourite would be Mark Knopfler, because I quite like Dire Straits, and also he wrote the theme tune to Local Hero, which moves me possibly more than any other song ever written. It's what Newcastle come out to. It's this weird old sort of 80s guitar riff. They walk out to that. But obviously living in London now, I almost never, ever hear it. Ever. And when I went to the derby was terrible. It was one of the worst games I've ever sat through. But at the start, when they were doing all the displays and the flags, and they came out, I genuinely felt really choked up. It moves me, that piece of guitar playing. So Mark Knopfler.
How would you fix VAR, but you can't simply get rid of it?
Use it only for decisions of statistical or mathematical certainty. It's offsides. It is Is it just offsides, VAR? Right, I've got it. I've just thought of this right now. The VAR cannot interfere. The referee has to ask.
So they can't go, you should probably check that, mate.
Nope.
He decides to check it.
The referee has to go, I'm not sure about that. Can you have a check of that for me, lads? And he can check anything. He can check anything he wants. It hasn't just got to be for certain decisions. And the linesmen, the all in thing be like, look, can you have a look at that? Can you have a look at that? Because they should just know when something needs looked at.
They should do what they do in the NBA and have an appeal system. Managers should have 2 appeals each, and that's the only time it's used. And then it's on the manager, not on the ref.
I don't think that works.
I think once you
I think I would slows the game down even more.
Yeah, fun though, innit? Bit of drama.
Bit of drama.
Bit of drama.
I'll tell you who wouldn't want that. Managers.
Yeah, they wouldn't. No, it's more pressure for them. But
Yep.
Hey, it takes a bit of the spotlight off the refs. So, can you make more videos related to old players like Batistuta or Pires and what made them so special and awesome?
Do you know what I would love to do? I'd love to do a second channel. I'd love to do a second channel where we just look at retro stuff. Retro games, retro tactics, retro players. Just call it ACFC Retro. I would love to do that. But we're a 2-man operation. And we currently work flat out to get you 2 long-form videos, plus a stream, plus a load of socials across a week. We work flat out to do that. We don't have the luxury of a big staff here who are writing scripts for us or taking loads of edits. Just what you see is what you get.
This is it.
This is it. Anything that I say, I've genuinely thought that and come up with it myself. And anything that you see, Archie has genuinely imagineered that himself also. Sometimes the Venn diagram merges, but that's it. We have no external help doing this. And I think to do the retro one, we'd need somebody to basically write all of that.
Yeah.
They would have someone whose full-time job would be they do all the, I don't even like scripts, but they do all the scripts and the research for the retro channel. It's basically their thing, right? And then one, I wouldn't enjoy presenting that because I wouldn't have got to do the fun bit, which is learn. And 2, I would never feel comfortable doing that because that's their work and I hate passing other people's work off as my own. And that's
good morals.
That's not a dig at other people on YouTube, even though it absolutely could be interpreted as one. Other people are free to do whatever they want to do, but I would feel like the person who came up with all that should be the one telling you about it.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
And I've seen so many people who are not natural on-camera talents bond with an audience and become that simply because their knowledge base was so good. People, even if the delivery wasn't perfect or needed a lot of work, that people on YouTube were like, yeah, but you get this and this is genuine and it's authentic, and they enjoy that more than someone who's just reading off an auto cue that they didn't write. So I would love to do ACFC Retro, right? But to do that, we would need to bring in someone who did exactly what I did, which is do the whole thing from like idea to presenting, and then me and them would do both, if that makes sense. We need another me, basically, to do ACFC Retro.
Well, you've had a couple of applications in the chat. So.
Oh, can I have a go? Can I have a go, please? Can I have a go?
Are you planning on doing any live post-game recaps during the World Cup?
We'll see. We're going to see. So I'm going to be out there. I'm going to be in the US for the World Cup. We have a facility, a studio, all booked and planned, and it has various spaces we can do things with. We're definitely going to have a studio like this. So the match analysis will be there. We will do that as normal. We also have a roof terrace, which I want to do a daily podcast on because it's just New York in June, so the weather's going to be really nice. I want to call it ACFC World Cup Hookups. And the idea is, right, this is never going to get to the ground. The idea is we'll have a guest every single day. Every single day someone comes over to the apartment and does the podcast, right? But we do it with like coffee and breakfast, right? Ideally in dressing gowns. Right, we call it the ACFC World Cup Hookup, and we talk about yesterday's football.
Really kind of gossipy.
Yeah, but like we make it like quite pally and catty. You know what I mean? So
I like that. I'm a very, very.
That's the plan. But yeah, I would love to. We're going to see how it goes. Obviously, the time zones make it a bit weird. Like if we did a live stream immediately after a lot of England games, nobody in England's going to be able to watch that. Realistically, so we'll see. We're still in the planning phase, but we're going to be there, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, Do you want more questions?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll keep it rolling. Do some World Cup watch-alongs from Peter Sparks.
Maybe. I'm not ruling anything out, but I personally am not a watch-alongs guy. What did you just do there?
I'm going to flash it up on the screen and not. I just put it up on the screen.
No,
God,
maybe super small for the rest of you. Hello. Anyway, I'm not a watch-alongs guy. I don't really believe in watch-alongs. They work for other channels. Other channels do them superbly. I don't like them to watch. I don't want to watch something and then have other... Like, if I go and watch it in the pub, I hate when people are yapping the whole way through it, right? So I definitely want to inflict that upon myself. And also, to be on a watch-along, you have to be, like, on the whole time. Like, and sometimes in football especially, there are large periods of games that aren't interesting and you have to manufacture that interesting thing for the audience, which can come in the form of just saying completely made-up opinions you don't believe, faking arguments with other people who are on the stream, pretending to have over-the-top reactions, and I don't ever want to do any of those things. I hate all that stuff. So watch-alongs, if you enjoy them, great. If you are someone who makes them, also great. But I don't think I would do a good job of that. I don't think I would serve the audience very well. So probably not. But someone will bring this back to haunt me when we eventually launch them because we decide that they're really profitable or something. Is that why everybody does them? Do they make loads of money? I've never even really tried.
I've never watched a watch-along in my life.
No, they're not for everyone. But there is a huge audience, for them, and there's no sneering from me on that. If there's certain things I can do well and certain things I can't, and I think watch-alongs are things I couldn't do well. So,
who is your World Cup dark horse? And I'm going to add this, and why is it Scotland?
It is Scotland, and the answer to that is because of Scott McTominay.
I think they're getting out of the group. Because who's in the group? Brazil, Haiti, and one other.
The other one's the hard one, the one they've actually got to win.
Yeah.
Scotland.
The other one's the hard one.
World
and it's
Cup.
not Brazil.
No, who is it? It's Morocco.
Morocco, that's a tough.
It is a tough group, but
They'll
top it.
Yeah.
Scotland top that group.
I think you're completely right.
Scotland top that group.
I'm really annoyed we've got the same answer.
Scotland top that group. You can clip this. You can clip this and you can run it, right, on the 24th of June when that final whistle goes and Scotland have topped that group. They beat Haiti, they beat Morocco, and they draw with Scotland. They top the group 7 points. Wow. I'm telling you.
I really hope you're right.
Remember I said this.
Someone in the chat said Ecuador. I think that's a great shout. They've had like 8 0-0 draws in the last 2 years, so they can grind out games. Take that to a World Cup. And Valencia's still rocking it up, so that'd be
Is
beautiful.
he? Yeah. Japan, I don't know if they qualify as dark horses now, but Japan have a really good team.
Yeah, they're
Really good team.
Did you watch them against Scotland?
Yeah.
Yeah, they look good. I like them.
We're going to watch them against England.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah, they got England. When's that? It's in a couple. Tuesday.
Tomorrow. Japan, obviously not just because I'm a man in his 30s who's been to Japan and tells everybody he's been to Japan, but I really like Japan. I hope Japan do well.
A couple of mentions for Australia as well.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I annoyingly think Italy have to beat Bosnia. There's just the cultural history of Italians in America, of the Irish in America. It's a tragedy that Ireland aren't there.
Yeah.
Wales going on the Wrexham thing makes that interesting. Like they're an American-owned club. I think it'd be if Italy don't go as well. There's a huge part of like just the narrative and the crack that's going to be missing. So I kind of actually do want Italy to go.
Do Italy go into USA's group? That would be brilliant if they do.
Mamma mia. Do they?
I'm not sure. It's one of the European playoff winners. I can't remember which one it is.
Maybe.
Someone in the chat tell us who
Maybe.
into chat.
Yeah, thanks, chat. Love saying chat.
Converting, aren't we?
Right, come on, 10 more minutes. Let's rattle through as many as we can.
Yeah.
Eddie in already out.
Oh, in for me. I mean, if we did this whole video on this, I don't think he's blameless in the season. I think there's been individual games that have come and gone because he's not done well enough. But I think you look at what he's having to work with, the threadbare squad playing the highest number of games in European football, no immediate first-team player coming in since Tonali, basically, lack of infrastructure, all this stuff. I don't think you can really hold him personally responsible for the whole thing.
Yeah. I think that's a very straight answer.
Thank you. Thank you.
Not a big
Black Baldridge fan, then I see, was one of the comments.
Black Baldridge.
yeah, because you were saying.
Oh, no,
you're
he's
not a fan
genius.
of watch-alongs.
No, he's genius.
Yeah.
The Arsenal Fan TV, Goldbridge, all of them who do the watch-alongs, they're geniuses. They're absolute geniuses. They have found that niche in the market, and they've got more money than God off the back of doing it. Like it's just not for me. It's not something I would watch. It's not something I'd want to do. But I don't think we're somehow better than all those other channels. Like he's playing a character as well, isn't he? Isn't that the whole thing about him? That's not
His real name's Brent de Cesar.
right. So is it like proper character?
Private.
Investigator.
Is it like proper character work, or has he just changed his name?
He has changed his name, but I think that comes along with the character.
So it's character work.
As far
Brilliant.
as I can tell. Yeah.
Great.
It's brilliant. Yeah.
The one idea I had to make myself familiar was to be a Twitch streamer that did a Football Manager stream, but as if it was real.
I remember you telling me about this.
Yeah, so like you change the background for the interviews and stuff like that, and then like even between games you like go home and like amdram your own life if it's getting all a bit much for you and stuff. You do the whole like thing as you do it as a whole thing.
I like that.
But it's just you got to be on all the time. You got to be pretending all the time. I just can't do it.
That's exhausting. That.
Man City, points deduction, 60 points. What should their punishment be if they get that?
Where are we getting this 60 points from? Where's that come from?
Hack.
Is it true? Because look. The problem you've got is you've got to keep these punishments consistent, right? And if you're being consistent in terms of how it relates to Everton and Nottingham Forest, then you need to give them a 500-point deduction or something absolutely. Because, those two clubs are like, oh, sorry, we've made a tiny little mistake there. Hands up, that's on us. We've clearly not really gained any sort of advantage from that. Whereas the Man City thing is, we may have won all these trophies and bought all these players, but you can't prove it, and we're going to deny it, and we're going to do a years-long legal case. You'd have to like Rangers though. You'd have to put them in the 4th division.
Yeah, you would.
But you can't really do that.
I don't see them getting a points deduction.
You don't see the points deduction happening.
I see them getting a generational fine and a 2-year transfer ban. I think they get fined £100 million.
I'll tell you this.
Go on.
Whatever the Man City punishment is, if there's even a Man City punishment, they could be found innocent, let us not forget. Whatever the punishment is, there's not a single person who'll agree with it.
Nah, not at all.
And also, and I know you won't care, but the only people who ultimately get punished by this are actually the fans. Unless you're going to put the people who did it in prison, which they're not going to do. So,
well, they're trying to do less points deductions, aren't they?
Yeah, they think it's a bad look. That's what SCR is supposed to do. SCR video coming for you next week as well.
A £4.99 super chat from David G.
Yes, mate. That's my Tesco meal deal.
If Bruno G and Hincapié got into a fight, who would win it?
I would say Hincapié's got size, reach. If you tailor the tape, you look at Hincapié. But I just don't think any player who's ever played for Arsenal would be good in a fight.
He's got veneers.
Has he Hincapié?
Blinding veneers.
No, he's not going to happen. Nah. He's not going to. Arsenal used to be one of the hardest teams in football, and now what Arteta's done is he's made these players remember who they're supposed to be. He's brought that identity back of you are one of the hardest teams in the world, but he's done it with a load of lads who are soft as clarts. I think every single one of them will get chinned by anyone.
Really?
No, some of them would be quite. Which Arsenal players would be handy in a fight?
Big Gabby. I can't call him Big Gabby.
Gabriel.
He'd be good in a fight. Yeah.
Gabriel.
He'd be class in a fight. As long as I push him in
The man. You cannot hurt him from the front, but if you just push him in the back, no, I'm not having that.
Right. You're going to laugh at this. I actually think Ben White would be good in a scrap. And Ben White's good value for a scrap. I think he gives it the Love Island look. I think he's got a bit.
I think he'd scratch you. I think you'd be getting scratches all over the face before Ben White.
Christian Norgard's got a chin.
Yeah, maybe Norgard. Maybe. I'm struggling beyond that. Actually, I tell you who looks low key hard. Timber.
Yeah.
Yeah, Timber.
Quietly.
Timber look. He's got that sort of like Muay Thai, like 0% body fat, like keeps going even after he's knocked you down sort of thing. I believe Timber would be quite hard. But to answer your question, I think Bruno Guimaraes would burst Hincapié. Burst him, yeah.
They used to have Kolasinac literally fought off a knife attacker. Did you see that video?
Yeah.
Mad.
Yeah. But when did that happen?
Like 5 years ago.
It was after he left Arsenal.
No, he was at Arsenal.
Was it his Arsenal time?
Yeah, I think Ozil was in the car.
It's always in the car.
He was sat in the car.
In the child seat.
I might be mixing two
In a child
stories
seat.
up. I might be mixing two stories up here, but I'm
Wow.
fairly certain Ozil was in the car.
Well, they got rid of him then, didn't they? So there you go.
Yeah. What else we got? It's just everyone saying who'd be decent in a fight, which I really enjoy. Yeah, he went to defend Ozil. Yeah, Ozil in the booster seat. Yeah, that was it. Absolutely timber. Gyökeres would hold his own. Yeah,
maybe Gyökeres
I reckon
looks
so.
scrappy.
Yeah, he's a big lad as
Gyökeres
well.
strikes me as like he can't fight.
No.
You know what I mean? But if you got into a fight with him, he's walking away from that and you're not.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like he's got nothing in terms. He wouldn't know what to do with himself. You just end up on the floor, but you are not walking away from that, and he is.
Now I think you're just comparing that to his play style.
Yeah.
Scores goals, but can he actually play football?
Yeah, he just run at you.
Yeah. He'd do it in jeans as well. That's
Yep.
me and permanent wearing jeans. Thoughts on Sunderland this season?
Brilliant. Like I can't even be like petty about it. They've rewritten the playbook for what you do when you get promoted into the Premier League. I think. Saying before, you just have to look at not who your best players were last season, but look at who your most appropriate players are this season. Build around that, not have an ego about it, not think, oh, we were the best passing team in the Championship, we should still be passing the ball. Just play, like, even if it's lowest common denominator. Like, all the numbers for Sunderland say they should be in the bottom three. All of them. And they have done all season, right? But they've reduced games to margins, and then they've finished really well, taking their chances, and they've put a really good goalkeeper in. And that's meant that if all the games are marginal, they're capable of getting points in all of them. Really, really impressed with what they've done. Deservedly beat us in both games. I could not say a bad word about Sunderland's season.
That hurt, didn't it?
Do you know what? It should, but I went to uni there, and I worked there for a bit after uni as well. Like, this is going to sound like I'm trying to. This is not going to sound the way I mean it to, right? But it can't hurt me. Like, it's not like, oh, I live there, so I've got a bit of... I obviously don't have a bit of a soft... No Sunderland fan wants to hear me say, oh, I've got a bit of a soft spot for them, because that's a bit patronising. It's just... Because it's another city, right? It's not like a local rivalry in the sense that, like, you both live... It's a different place. Once you spend a lot of time there, it takes a bit of the power away. Like, it can't really hurt me, because I've been there, and it's just like anywhere else. You know what I mean? It's not scary, it's not bad, it's not anything. It's just a place. It's just a place, and it's just over there, and they've had a great season.
What would you class as retro if you were to do a retro channel?
Oh, I don't want to do that because someone told me that like the Xbox 360 was classed as a retro console the other day, and I was like, it's still in my cupboard.
I've been doing a FIFA 13 career mode on that. It's
Is
absolutely brilliant on the Xbox 360.
Do you think that's a retro console?
Yeah, I do.
Xbox 360 is a retro console.
Because I grew up playing it and then moved on to an Xbox One at like 13.
I think retro would be anything that's pre-social media. That's how I would do it.
Yeah.
So like Barclaysman is retro.
But there was a suggestion of Fergie's last game. That doesn't count.
Yeah, no, because yes, social media existed, but it hadn't. Yeah.
It was way.
You could use it is the point. Yeah. Fergie's last. I would say Fergie's much in the same way that wrestling fans class the end of the Attitude Era as being WrestleMania 17, where the Rock versus Austin. The start of modern football is when Alex Ferguson retires. I would say. Okay. Start of modern football is when Alex Ferguson retires. That's yeah.
What year did he retire?
I don't know. 2014. Before that.
Yeah. One of those years.
Alex Ferguson. It was a mad like 4-4 against West Brom or something.
Yeah, I think it might be actually. Yeah.
5-2. No, 5-5 it was, and it was 2013. They won that league by 11 points.
He was good, wasn't he?
Ferguson.
That Alex Ferguson.
He's very of his time. He was very of his time.
Okay, this is my question.
All right.
Do you reckon he'd do well currently in the Prem?
No.
Do you think? No.
But look, it's not me saying managers are better than him. No, they're not. They're not as good. I would actually say he's light years ahead of most modern managers in terms of people management, being a profile, being a figure, all the non-footballing side. But by his own admission, he never even did any coaching. He let the coaches coach, and he just sort of picked the team and told them what to do.
Do you think he'd be good at people management in this current era?
No. Even then, I don't know.
That's like his biggest skill.
It's not that it's any criticism of Alex Ferguson or any manager from that era, but football is so, and the people who play it, the people who watch it, the way it's put together, it has changed so much in the last 10 years. I think a lot of managers, a lot of great managers, it's not even just that they'd struggle, they'd have one look at it and be like, do you know what, I don't want anything to do with that. Like, I don't think Alex Ferguson would want to be a manager now.
Yeah, I think you're right. Would you like one final question?
Yeah, let's have a last one.
I remember it from earlier. I can't remember who put it in. But what's your favourite tactic ever? It's a really broad question.
My favourite tactic
Your favourite
ever?
tactic. Whether it's like a specific system or a team that implemented a tactic. I think you can go down either route. Oh, that is putting me on the spot.
Right, so there's an immediate answer that jumps to mind, and it is the tactic I made up to finish third in this Football Manager charity tournament a few years ago.
I remember you telling me about this.
Right? So, to give you a proper answer for that, I'd have to really sit and think about it. Maybe that first Gareth Southgate England team where he played Kyle Walker at right centre-back, and then had like Dele Alli and Jesse Lingard in centre midfield. Like, maybe that, because that just shouldn't have worked, and all of a sudden we got the semi-final. But the one I made up, God, I'd have to show you this somehow. I don't know how I could do it. But basically, it was a charity Football Manager tournament, and my flat internet was not good enough to actually play it. So I had to play on a Google Meet call with Alice FM, who's this Football Manager streamer who's brilliant. But she had to there was a draft for all the players the day before, and I wasn't around I didn't realise that was part of the thing. So I couldn't she had to do the draft for us. So I gave her like a basic instruction of just like, I want to do this funny. Like, pretend you're Neil Warnock, get a load of shit houses, right? And in the end, I can't remember all the players we had, but we had Kiefer Moore, right? He was the best centre forward she got was Kiefer Moore. James Ward-Prowse, and a couple of like tricky wingers, and I ended up coming up with this system, right? And it was a 4-4-2, right? But it was left back, centre back, right wing back, right? Centre midfielder, left winger. No, so how did I do it? So basically, it was like four, and one of them was playing as a wing back. Then another four. Right, and one of them was playing as a 10, and one of them was playing as a left winger. So the left wing back was playing the entire right-hand side of the pitch, and then two centre forwards, big man, little man. So it was like so it was a wing back on the right-hand side with a 4-4-2 and a 10.
Okay, yeah. This is where we really should have had that camera.
Yeah, this would have been good. I would have got it wrong, but it was a 4-4-2 with a wing back and a number 10 in it as well, and we got through to the semi-final, and I can't remember the guy's name, which I promise is not just a petty thing for me to do, but I can't remember the guy's name, but there was a couple of streamers weren't playing, and they were basically doing all the commentary. It was really good the way it worked. It was like jumping between all these different games while they were going on and like showing you all the goals and stuff, right? And this one streamer saw the way I'd set up, and I think I did have one actually good centre forward, but I wanted to play Kiefer Moore because he was like could head the ball and I wanted to put loads of crosses in. And he said like, oh, well, you know, we're looking for a really good tournament. It's a shame Adam Clery hasn't taken it seriously, and he's just trying to do like what he thinks is a funny team. And they were like, oh, do you not think that team's got any chance of doing well? He's like, I'll tell you what, we're doing this for charity. If Kiefer Moore so much as scores a goal, I'll donate £10 to charity. And they were like, will you actually? So what about for for every goal Kiefer Moore scores, I will donate £10 to charity, right? And we saw that. So he immediately stuck him on penalties and free kicks, right? And he scored 2 penalties and 2 goals from open play. So I got 40 quid out of that guy because he was being sneery about it.
Got a super chat that I missed.
Yes, oh God.
From Ivan Smith, long-term fan of the channel and valued member. Do United finish above City? And if so, does Carrick get a permanent job?
Let me just get the facts for you here. Manchester United are 6 points behind Man City. But Man City have a game in hand. Now, I will say this now. The answer to this question does not count if they're given a 60-point deduction. Because then Wolves are finishing above Manchester City. And I don't think that means Wolves have had a good season. I think they're 2 separate questions. I actually think it's perfectly possible for Man United to actually finish above Manchester City. Man United's fixtures are rough. They've got Chelsea away and they've got Liverpool home. Tight game, but the way they're playing, you wouldn't write them off. Man City's fixtures, on the other hand, just make sure I'm remembering these right by getting them up. They've got an FA Cup quarter-final to play, which is big. You could tell by the way Pep reacted when they won the Carabao Cup final. Every possible trophy is a big deal to him. Chelsea, Arsenal, and then they finish with Burnley, Everton, Brentford, Bournemouth, Villa. I think it's perfectly possible Man United catch them. But to do that, you're literally talking about like a generational run of form from Michael Carrick. And I think it almost gets to the point where I think he does well enough that it puts other managers off. Because you can create a clamour around you. Especially being a club guy as well. He's not just some random bloke. Fans like him anyway. Then all of a sudden it gets to the point where it's like, do I even want to go in there? Because it's an uphill task because I'm not who people want. What's the answer to the question then? Yeah, they can finish above it. I don't think they give him the job though.
Even if they finish above him? Wow.
I think you would have done it by now.
Do you not think they'll wait to the end of the season?
No, I think
potentially go, right, we're going to row back.
No, because surely they have been hard at work. Surely they've been hard at work looking at who's available. They must know who the Man United manager is. They must.
I think they can.
You can't have not had an interview by now, should you?
I don't even think they've been interviewed.
Oh my God!
I'll
tell you what. There's a possibility Michael Carrick does get the Man United job, and it's simply because they somehow managed to balls up appointing somebody, and he's all they've got.
Yeah.
And if I was Carrick, I wouldn't take it.
Do you reckon?
Not under those circumstances.
Okay. Yeah.
Either I'm your guy or I'm not. There you go. Let's answer the
Good
question.
answer.
Any other pearlers we've got? Any other really good ones to end on?
Sort of my job, isn't it? I probably looked at these. I like this one. It's not necessarily a question. Connect with US men's national team legend Jimmy Conrad during the US World Cup coverage. See if he's available. He's a Newcastle supporter as well.
Oh,
I used
sick.
to watch a little bit of Jimmy Conrad. He's good.
Is he good?
Yeah, he's good.
Okay, well let's hit him up.
Yeah,
Can you just put his mobile phone number in the chat, please? Would that be right? Right, we're going to wrap it up there because we're just running and doing now. It's been like an hour and 40. Final thing, if you missed it earlier on, I am doing the London Landmarks Half Marathon this next weekend. But I'm also, more importantly, going to be doing the Hackney Half 4 weeks after that with a body that's already just run a half marathon. But I'm doing that for CALM, the Campaign Against Living Miserably. They're a UK-based suicide prevention charity. I do really take a lot from going and doing these fundraisers for charities like that because mental health support in the UK is absolutely on its arse. And charities like Calm and Mind pick up so much of the slack that we are just simply not set up to be able to do. And people do need those services more than you realise. So if we could raise a couple of quid doing that, the link is somewhere in the description.
I've just put it in the chat.
Is it clickable if it's in the chat?
Might have to copy and paste.
I might have to copy and paste it. I'll be banging on about this over the next couple of weeks. But yes, that's been the first ever AMACFC. We're going to get you up to do a couple, but none of them were about Norwegian football. So,
I'm pretty chilled. It's good.
okay, great. You've got a seat. Must be nice. But yeah, we'll do these more often because I thought that was really fun. Thank you everybody who has joined us. Thank you especially to our channel members and anyone who submitted a question in advance. These probably will be a members thing eventually, but the world is big and the membership is exclusive. So for now, great fun. We'll just do this for everybody for the time being, and then we'll see what we want to do with it later on. But if you did supply a question, thank you very much. How many would you estimate we got through, questions-wise, as a percentage?
Percentage. Genuinely out of... I reckon we got through about 10%.
Of the questions?
Not the pre-done ones, but the ones that are in the chat.
Wow.
There was loads of questions.
Okay.
10-15%.
Well, next time, we will ban you from answering questions in advance, and we will quick-fire every question that comes in, is the plan.
I like that.
Is the plan. Next time we do this, we will answer every single question in the chat, within reason. Not answering any personal ones, 8 inches, but we'll try and get through every single one of them as best we can. But until then, thank you very much. Enjoy your bank holiday weekend. We certainly will. Well, you won't. You're moving house, aren't you?
Yeah.
That sucks to be you. Well, hope you enjoy your bank holiday weekend. I certainly will. And we'll see you next time. If you haven't subscribed yet, we'd like to hit 200k soon, please. Please do that. Please do that if you like this, because we'll do more. Bye, 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 bye.